Welcome. Here is my commentary on NFL Week 18 and the consequences of the 2025 season, and I give you the teams that I think will prevail in wildcard weekend. Welcome. The regular season is over. For 18 teams, their journey for this season is over. The coaches will have already met with their players to discuss the season. Team owners will have met with the general managers and coaching staff. Some make quick decisions and others take time to reflect. For some of these teams, the season may not be all that bad. Some teams have advanced their overall program a step forward in their rebuilding plan, despite not making the playoffs. Some may need a player or two to solidify their roster or maybe a different coach to implement a more suitable scheme to the talent in the building. Some may just need to be healthier in the next season. For a good number of teams, they will need change. The Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon, who they interfered with a Super Bowl week to acquire in 2022. Clearly not a good hire, as the team never really was in contention. He was never a great defensive coordinator with Philly. Just had good talent. The Cleveland Browns parted ways with Kevin Stefanski, who many people felt mismanaged Shedeur Sanders. Despite being a two-time Coach of the Year, the Browns retained Andrew Berry, who saddled Stefanski with all those quarterbacks, not seeing winning in the near future for them until they get the biggest task figured out. It was clear as day that the Las Vegas Raiders would part ways with Peter Carroll. It clearly was not working and they just lacked the talent and scheme to compete. They have so many problems on their roster and the next hire will have a tall task ahead. Tom Brady will play an integral role once again. I was kind of shocked that the Atlanta Falcons decided to start over once again. Raheem Morris finished strong. But, while he got the Panthers into the playoffs, the Falcons were long eliminated. But they relieved their general manager of his duties as well. A complete reset for a team that expected to contend sooner than later. The Ravens decided a new voice is needed to change the fortunes for the franchise. John Harbaugh led the team to a Super Bowl victory and sustained success overall, but could not get over the hump again in spite of having won the best talents in the current generation of players. He will be a hot candidate for many teams, like the Giants who are interested. There still could be others let go, but the Colts and Bengals decided to retain their leaders. For the Colts, the team's nosedive was not a result of coaching, but catastrophic injuries. You cannot really lose the talent you did and expect to remain in contention, but they know their formula worked. Just will it work again? Now, let us discuss the action on the field, starting with my Eagles, who decided to rest the vast majority of their starters, allowing Smitty to play to reach 1,000 yards. I have no issue with the decision, but I hope that Tanner McKee would have played better, and that the backups would have stepped up to the plate a bit more. They had a chance to win the game and clinch the second seed, but it slipped away. So, naturally, people will blame the decision to rest the starters. Now, we have to face the San Francisco 49ers, who lost the winner gets the division and a bye battle on Saturday. Despite the injuries and disgruntled star, the Niners had a great season. Not a great showing on Saturday. Ideally, we would have faced the Packers, who we have had their number of lately. But the Niners are beatable, despite being formidable at the same time. I am not a big fan of the Niners because I believe they make too many excuses and talk too much. But they have talent. The Bears will get a rubber match against the Packers, both of whom lost this weekend. The Packers rested their starters as well and did not put up much of a fight against the Vikings. The Bears lost a close one to the Lions. The Seahawks end the regular season on high note and will get a week off to prepare for their first playoff game. But, they still look beatable as well. Every team in both conferences are. But the Seahawks have shown their resolve over the last few weeks. The best game of the weekend was the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens for the division and the final playoff spot available. The Ravens jumped out to an early lead, but the Steelers were able to tie it in the second half. Great late action where the teams traded late touchdowns and then took turns missing kicks. Hindsight is 20/20. Sure, after your kicker misses you understand that maybe you should have done something to shorten the distance. But I wonder how much more pressure was added by a missed extra point, where the Ravens' kick went from being a kick to tie the game to one to win the game, the division, the final playoff spot, and home playoff game. The Ravens were clearly shocked, but I would think that the Tampa Bay Bucks feel much worse. They won their division battle against the Carolina Panthers at home, but their fate was decided by a Falcons-Saints game that featured no playoff team. The Bucks won but are going home because the Falcons won. The last week of the season is so final for 18 teams every year, but it must hurt a bit more when you do your part and still fall short, or when you miss a kick and lose the win and go to the playoffs game. Brutal for the teams and fans. My picks for the wildcard round. The Packers and Bears will meet for the third time this season with each team winning a game. The Bears are playing well at the end of the season, which is what you want to be doing at this time of the year. The Packers lost some talent to injury, but brought in some reinforcements to lift the struggling team. In this game, I will take the Bears to win close over the Packers. The Packers knocking out the Bears would be helpful to my Eagles if they win, but I think the Bears are just the better team right now and are playing well. The Chargers and Patriots will be an interesting game featuring two stud quarterbacks. Justin Herbert is in the playoffs once again facing the new Patriots, who are back in the dance with new coach, second-year quarterback. The Patriots have been so consistent despite playing the easiest schedule in the league. The Patriots will have an advantage in health. So many players have been lost on the line for the Chargers, which is why I believe the Patriots will win this game. I think the Patriots will just have the ability to take advantage of the injuries. The Rams may still be the best team in the league regardless of record. For much of the season, they were clearly among the favorites in what might be Matthew Stafford's last campaign. But a loss to the Panthers followed by a loss to the Falcons changed the course of their season. I think the Rams will have the opportunity to right the ship in this rematch. The Panthers do a great job of taking advantage of mistakes. I believe the Rams will clean up their act and eliminate the turnovers to win. The Bills and Jaguars could be the game of the week. I said earlier in the season that it was hard for me to fully trust the Jags because the team is generally inconsistent. They have been pretty consistent the last 8 games. But I think the Bills will be super motivated in this game and their experience may be an important factor in this game. I will take the Bills with the best quarterback in the field to win a close one against the up-and-coming Jags. The Steelers won a game they probably should not have in the last game of the season. They also lost a game in the second-to-last game that they should have won. The Texans started off with 3 straight losses and turned it around. The Texans have the league's best defense and the offense is playing better. I think the Steelers can win this game, but the Texans will be formidable. I will take the Steelers for the upset. They have won games all season against teams they should not have beat. Finally, my Philadelphia Eagles host the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners had a great season in overcoming injuries. The Eagles had a great season where they largely had to overcome their coaching. This is growing into a really good rivalry. Both teams made 2 Super Bowls against the Chiefs. Only the Eagles changed the ending. The Niners have great coaching, but they continue to struggle with health. I think the Eagles can prevail at home. With our rowdy crowd and health advantage, the Niners are a formidable foe and have a chance. But I think, maybe hope, that our talent advantage is able to shine.